Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lungile.
My name is Navina, and welcome to the Scared Shitless podcast.
Where we talk about all things horror.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
From horror movies, horror series, horror games, horror books, horror fiction.
We cover everything horror.
If it's scary, we're doing it, and we got it. So, yeah, if it's bloody, we got it. Okay. That actually got a bit serial killer-ish.
Yeah.
But, so welcome to our very first episode.
And woo! It's our very first episode of Scared Shitless. So, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And we are going to be discussing Stranger Things Season 3. Yeah.
And we are taking a journey down into the
Upside Down. Okay, bet you guys thought that this whole video will be upside down. So season 3 dropped recently, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have smashed season 3 already because it's only 8 episodes long.
It's very short, it's very bingeable.
And so we're just going to be sharing our review with you guys. And if you guys want to also give us some input, tell us what you thought about it, please feel free at the end of this to drop your comments at the end of this video.
And very big NB, there's gonna be some spoilers that we're gonna be dropping. So if you haven't watched it, we suggest go watch the series now and then come back and watch the video because we might drop some spoilers that you wouldn't want to hear. So cool. So Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So I really loved the season. It was I binged it in 2 days.
I did too.
I watched 4 episodes one night, and then I watched the next day. And dude, for me, it was perfect, man. Everything was just all the characters, the character arcs. It was fun. Actually, all the characters now, from Dustin to, is it Steve, the guy who scoops ahoy?
Steve Harrington.
Oh man,
with the most amazing hair.
Yeah, him and Dustin were the perfect pair.
Yeah.
But my favorite character was Erica. I don't know why. Erica was just because she was coming to the ice cream shop, and she kept on I want to taste some ice cream. I want to, she was literally abusing.
She was just always throwing shade at them.
So I was this girl is just up in there, you know?
Yeah.
She was for me, she was one of my biggest highlights.
She was very cute. She was really bossy, but that actually worked very well because it was kind of she's really sassy, but she's also a little kid that you can't take advantage of, which I liked. You know, it kind of showed you that kids are not always these pushovers, you know.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite character this season was Hopper.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, he's always been such a cool character.
He's a big teddy bear. That's how I can describe.
Yeah.
Because he's always
but he's got the soft side to him as well.
Which makes him very, very, very likable.
Because we're talking about characters, the reason why I really especially enjoyed him in this season was that he was just very we saw a more comedic side to him, and we saw the dad side to him, which was great. I mean he was so troubled by Mike and 11. And what made me laugh was that he'd get so miserable every time Mike was there, you know. And apparently the internet has been going crazy with using other scenarios of someone dashing in, opening the door, and because that's what Hopper did.
Yeah.
I really like that because we got to see him not just be a serious cop like we have in the previous seasons. He was always a likable character, but he was more serious because he was a cop, you know. And he still is. But the thing is, he's just more human, I think, in this season.
Yeah,
you know?
I think he's more dad-like.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the previous season, but I just really loved that side of him.
Yeah.
Him being annoyed and I wish they would just break up.
He just had.
It was just it was pretty cool.
Yeah, for me, he was the best character because he had the best freakouts. He freaked out about everything this season. He freaked out about that scene with the Burger King thing when Alexei / Smirnoff wanted.
Oh, he wanted strawberry or whatever.
Yeah, cherry. You wanted cherry, and then he got him strawberry, and he's like, I don't care.
It's the same thing. I remember that.
Sugar on ice.
Yeah. He was really cool.
Yeah, so...
all the characters... Robin is new, right?
Robin is new. Robin is Steve's partner in the ice cream parlor. And she was the one who helped them translate the Russian to decode the message.
Yeah, so she was really cool. I liked her. I think... I just liked her... the way she was introduced... I also like the fact that they paired different characters now, because you didn't feel the same, Dustin and Steve, right?
Yeah.
And then also 11 and the other girl, what's her name? Billy's sister.
Yes.
And they were like, jump in, my boyfriend all the time.
Yeah.
That was really cool to have different characters working together. You don't want to always see the same people chilling together. So I really like the dynamic there. What was my favorite moments? I couldn't think of any right now.
So fun fact though about Robin, she is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman.
Yeah. You know what I did? I googled people. I was like, who is this person? And I just then I just made that connection.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke and
Uma Thurman, yeah.
That was what?
Yeah, that's their daughter.
Yeah.
So that was, if you guys didn't know, now you know.
She has a bright future, so yeah.
Yeah, she was great actually. My favorite scenes were with her and Steve when they were high. And they were just laughing non-stop. Those are actually so great. But I think overall, just in terms of the characters and the character arcs, all of them just had... everybody hated Steve in the first season. I know I did, And then you liked him a lot in the second season because he became like a mom in the second season. He was like babysitter Steve. And now he's, again, just even more likable, And also one more thing to mention about Hopper was that we also got to see his more romantic side.
That shirt was very colorful.
Yeah. He was,
but it was so sad, dude. I was like...
Yeah, he definitely was the show stealer for me this season. I felt like last season it was Steve, but this season it felt more like Hopper. Because just between his freakouts and him being more human and everything, it was just... nice to see his character, change, which is really nice. Joyce actually didn't freak out as much this season. I think she had one freak out on the phone, I think.
I feel but I also like that they gave her something to do, because obviously Will was not missing, so I was curious, what's she gonna do?
Yeah.
And
I think Will's only purpose this season was his neck was tingling. That's all
they made memes.
My neck
they
tingling.
made memes were you watching Stranger Things? And the Netflix South Africa.
He's I think the mind flare is in the vicinity. My neck is tingling.
which is cool. I think overall the whole season was very fun and very funny.
Yeah, it was very well written,
And also Nancy's arc was also really, really cool. When she was trying to publish a story and then the men, misogyny, the patriarchy was in a way, and I was like, what? Do women really go through that? Where people are just we'll look at it do your job and for me, I mean, I'm sure it happens, but I didn't. Her. It's only when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty shitty.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that she just took charge. Even though there's some bad consequences to her taking charge, but I really liked her.
I think overall, what I saw this season as well was how the women were strong. I don't need no man, Also another spoiler, big one coming your way is that 11 Al dumps Mike, but the way she did it was really funny. I dump your ass.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It was kind of women are strong and they can they're not the damsels in distress.
And I love that. I love seeing women that are just badass and doing their own thing. You could say even Joyce was
it was nice to see her.
She was driving the story. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, I think before we saw Joyce as being this helpless woman, Will, and now where's Will? And then Christmas lights really creepy. Oh my God, Will, and now it was she took charge.
She was making shit happen. Like
she was with Hopper, which was really nice.
Yeah,
to
and
see.
then not taking off and answer.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. I think also something really important to note this season is that there definitely was a higher rating, I can tell, because it was pretty gruesome, and they showed you a lot of gruesome deaths and things that I was not expecting, but that's actually what made it super cool. You know, I feel like they really took it up to another level here.
I think it's a good balance also because you have the kiddie moments, the fun moments, the romantic moments, then you have the horror, which is like what makes the show so good. So it's like a perfect balance in terms of like all these different elements. So I think it was like well done.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean we love horror, hence Scared Shitless.
Yes, that's right.
And the thing is, like, for me, I had this like adrenaline just like watching this season specifically because it was like, wow, like, because before Stranger Things was sort of still, like you said, very like PG, like you got to see these creepy creatures and stuff, but you never really got to see the real destruction that they cause. You never felt that before. But in this season you do, and you're like, oh my gosh, they went there.
They're like scarier. Some of the hospital scenes were like intense.
Yeah.
Even the way that it looked, like that slimy, disgusting. It was
like this mass of like it looked like meat, or it was so gross.
Raw meat or whatever.
It just like kept moving, It was like, how do they even destroy this thing? Because it keeps escaping,
Yeah.
And also the scenes with the rats as well were just like really gross. And it was kind of what made it cool is like it had these unsettling moments, because also that one with the old woman where Nancy and Jonathan were there.
Yes,
she was really creepy. It was like whoa,
Yeah. Which works though. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
It was just like, whoa, what the fuck? These rats are fucked up, Oh man, you know what? I also enjoyed Billy's character.
I was about to say. I was also going to say Billy.
Was like, I was like, because I forgot about him, and then when I saw him at the pool, I was like, this guy is gonna do something. I don't know what he is, but like the way they introduced him, I was like, I need to watch out for this
so Billy was introduced in season 2, if you watch season 2, and at the time when they introduced him, you never really saw him as being a key character in the series at all. It was just him and his sister that came to Hawkins, and they were just the new residents in Hawkins, and that's all we pretty much knew about them. But it was really cool that he was basically he was like a vessel for the mind flayer.
Yeah, I was about to stop you from saying that, but okay, spoilers dropped already. But
you said that there's gonna be spoilers, so
but I even liked that they delved into like why he was such an ass, towards the end, which it just makes it like more. I don't know. I always like it when I understand where a character comes from and why they're like that. Those dream sequences were like amazing. And it was nice to know that.
Yes, true, because we actually got a peek into his childhood, which was nice, because you saw like, okay, this is what he went through, and this is.
And then you start feeling for him, and you're just like, oh man, he just like, no one is, well, I mean, I would like to hope so that no one is intentionally bad, but but it's like some people are just pushed into those situations, and then I felt for him, and
he was actually, he was really creepy. I thought he was really creepy.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was creepy. I mean, there was that scene where he was just sitting in the car while Steve and them.
They're just waiting.
And he's just waiting, and like so much happens in between that. And then they cut to him, and he's still sitting in the car, and you're like, did he just still sit in the car that whole time while all that stuff just happened in the mall?
But I think he was obviously being controlled or possessed or whatever, so he was just like back up for the mind flayer. But he was his arc was really cool.
I just love that how like they definitely amped it up in terms of like its rating, like for me, and I think the reason why they did that as well is because they are now older. So I guess and I love that they obviously put that thought into that.
The fact that the friends were also like growing up. I think was it Will, where he always wanted to play like those games, and they were like, dude, we're not gonna play games anymore.
Oh yes, and they're
we're not kids anymore. Like that for me was like, oh, this is so cool. They are actually growing up.
And I love that the creators, the writers took that into consideration. Like, we are now dealing with teenagers, and like the things are gonna change now. You know, we're gonna like really up like what they face, how they face it. You know, it's like this like new level of maturity, which I really liked. But like I said though, like even when they were going up against it, they still had that humor in there with like how they dealt with the mind flayer. And
did you check out the product placement?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
The cultural.
It was so shameless. It was completely shameless.
Yeah.
And as I was watching, I thought,
I think it was so many times.
So product placement. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So Burger King was like the main thing, okay? And literally a whole scene almost structured around Burger King. You know, and like the food that Hopper got for Alexi. You know, then we go to Coca-Cola, and there's a scene where they talk about Coca-Cola.
There's actually 3 Coca-Cola
scenes. Yeah, there's like one where we have like Al placing it on the table, and it's a flashback to when she did that with it. Yeah. But when
even at the mall.
I
don't know what the guy. I keep forgetting his name. He was drinking Coke. He's like, oh, this is the new flavor.
Was it Steve?
No, the other kid, man. The black kid, what's his name?
Oh, Lucas.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's the one I remember.
This is the new flavor.
And he went, and he was just. There was literally like you could have timed how long they were talking about Coca-Cola here, and I'm like, this is so shameless. Really, like we know you guys got like brands here, but really that was a bit too much.
But I also like the pop culture references, like Back to the Future.
Yes, that was very cool. I loved that, and I loved. I think it was Day of the Dead?
The zombie movie by George Romero.
Yeah, so there's Day of the Dead, Back to the Future, and also I think one of the highlights, which was also so, what's the word? It was so unexpected when it like showed up, was the Never Ending Story theme song.
I didn't catch that.
By Dustin and his girlfriend Susie.
Oh yeah, I remember an episode.
Yeah. So
also, I mean, I was actually. I'm just watching for everything. I even saw some of the posters in their bedrooms. They had like an Evil Dead poster, and then they also had a poster for The Thing, which is like, I was like, oh, they actually throw it like doing shout outs to all these like pop culture influences, which is cool. And I also like the fact that they were going to the cinema to watch movies.
Yeah, I like that as well.
It was a really cool like, you know, shout outs to, I don't know, the culture of going to the movies and watching them. But yeah, I think the Back to the Future one stood out for me like a lot. I think there was a lot of Back to the Future.
They dropped it in conversation as well. Like when Steve was asked what his favorite movie was, and then
oh my god, the final scene when they go to the video store.
Yeah.
That was like
that was really funny.
Yeah, that was epic.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's no video stores anymore. Well, I haven't seen any videos. I mean, there are, but like there's probably like one. You know,
I think that's something that
it was like a nice throwback, because I used to like go and hire movies there like forever. Yeah, so seeing that was like, you know, I remember going there, and searching through the shelves,
not knowing what the film is about at all, and just like renting it out because of what the cover looked like. You know?
Yeah. So that was a really cool.
And I think that's what Stranger Things gets right, is like this beautiful blend of like nostalgia, but not being, you know, too cheesy. Like they integrate it really well, but then it also being really modern at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
So it still appeals to audiences now, you know, so they don't feel so far removed, like, oh my gosh, this was like set in the 80s and like, this is so far in the city, you know? Yeah. And I love that they get that right, you know?
Yeah. But some criticisms now.
Yeah.
We really love the show, but obviously there's some things. Well, I mean, I went on Twitter and I was just reading what people are saying. I mean, all the characters are like really lovable. Some of them redeem themselves. But one tweet that caught my eye was a guy who said they keep fighting the same evil thing.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was like the first season, the second. I mean, it wasn't the same, but like, you know, it would be nice. Like, let's not fight the mind flare in season 4. Please, can we just like fight someone else? You know.
Well, I mean, the way season 3 ended doesn't seem like they really will be fighting the mind flare again.
I hope so. But yeah, that was like a relevant criticism. Like, okay, we're still fighting the same thing. Though it's like bigger and better.
I mean.
But I mean, it wasn't the same as the other seasons. But it was just like, just something I noted. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah, the person has a point, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are a few things that you could point out. The Russian thing was very stereotypical. It's like, cool, we're gonna have a villain in the season, and it's gonna be a foreign villain, as it always is in every series, you know. So that for me was kind of like, and then they were just like, cool, now we have the Russians and we're going up against them, you know.
It also kind of was relevant, well, in the way, like how in like now in modern times always like saying, oh, the Russians rigged the elections, you know. It was just like, oh, really?
Let's
really?
make the Russians for everything.
Really? Come on, try something, yeah. But I mean, and it was fun also.
So another thing I think as well is that there was the whole thing with Billy and Mrs. Wheeler.
Oh.
And that felt like it just didn't need to be there as well.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad she didn't like. She was like, I got a family. But it was nice in the sense that it moved on to more adult themes. Yeah. Like what would have potentially happened. It was like, whoa, okay, this is new territory.
Yeah.
You know. Also, I also like the fact that the kids were starting to talk about like sex and stuff.
It's
just like happy screams.
Yeah, the love thing was like awkward. Like when Mike didn't want to admit his feelings all the time.
So it was I think it was a cool balance, and it shows that obviously the characters are growing and the themes are like, you know, I'm sure hopefully, you know, in the next season they'll like be more relevant to their age, and also they're also growing. Like, they look much older. Like they're so taller. So quick how they grow. They grow up so fast. You know, I'm being so cheesy. But
I think, I mean, in terms of criticism, I don't know if you have anything else to add, but that's what I was thinking as well, because I mean, quite a few people were also saying that kind of that whole thing that they set up with Billy and Mrs. Wheeler was pointless, because it's like, it didn't really go into
it never got concluded.
You know, we just saw Billy becoming like this super villain kind of thing, you know. And her, after that, was just she wasn't really there.
Yeah,
you know?
she was just like 2 seconds and then... Well, it's not really a criticism. I like the dad, the very mellow dad with the glasses.
Oh, yeah.
He's not cool, but like the fact that he's so like mellow. And he doesn't do anything. He's like, listen to your mother. What did I do? Yeah. He's so funny because he just doesn't do anything. I really like this character because I first when I saw him in the other season, I was like, this guy does not do anything. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm watching TV. He's always banging the TV. You know?
I mean, like I guess in a way they had Mrs. Wheeler being tempted by Billy because she was not getting attention from her husband, and they made it very clear visually that like, oh, he's tired, he's with a little kid, they're asleep, and she's like this woman that is very attractive but wants attention from somebody else, and Billy's giving her that attention, you know. But yeah, for me that was just like, okay, there was no point to setting this up anyway.
Because it didn't go anywhere. But yeah, overall, I think the series was dope, man. Like I enjoyed it.
I definitely thought
it was... I binged it and I couldn't even wait. I just had to finish it. I mean, getting a bit technical, but like as I was saying, like I really love the editing. I love the colors in the show.
Yeah, the cinematography was amazing. The production design was amazing.
Yeah, like there's so much color popping.
And the shots were just beautiful.
It's like it's visually stimulating. Even the edits are pretty awesome. The music is great. Like everything. I mean, it's just perfect. Like from story to the acting, to like the production design, the color palettes, everything was just like...
Yeah, I mean, like watching this season for me, you just felt like you could tell the writers put a lot of thought into the characters and where they wanted it to go this season, you know, and you felt that. But at the same time, you know, even though the kids are getting older, I guess it also, it's sort of like I was saying with the Harper thing. It's also like how he's dealing with it. He's like Al getting older, you know. So it shows like they're getting older, but how are their parents coping with them getting older? And then like how do they, what's the word? Like deal with all the terrors happening in their town at the same time, you know. Overall, I thought it was very well executed. I was very impressed because it's very hard to... Especially now we're in season 3. Like, how do you keep, you know, your viewers engaged?
Upping the ante, you know.
Yeah, exactly that. And I thought that they did an excellent job, and I'm really looking forward to season 4.
Yeah, me too, guys. So hopefully, there will be a season 4. I just wish that it was longer. Oh, I mean, not longer, but there was just more episodes. But yeah, I really enjoyed Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah.
So I think that's it, guys.
Yeah, that's
for our episode. Please check out the description below and get more information about our podcast. Drop us some comments. Tell us what you think. Have you watched Stranger Things?
Yeah, and have you disagreed with anything that we mentioned here? Like, did you enjoy it? Were there some things that you didn't enjoy? We'd love to hear from you guys. You know?
And what would you want to see on our podcast? Do you have some ideas for movies that we could review? Horror games, books, paintings, whatever. So anything that has to deal with horror, we're going to be talking about it. Diving in deep and just talking about it because we love horror movies. And we just want to share everything with you guys as well. So that's it for our Stranger Things review. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. So whether you're watching this on Facebook, or if you're watching on Facebook, obviously you can't subscribe, but you can like our page. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, that like button. Just drop a comment, say hello. Let's be
We'd
friends.
love to hear from you guys.
And that was the first episode of Scared Shitless.